Peace, peace, peace. This is the Eric the Mad Scientist, True Knowledge, aka Gabrielle Hamalakia. I'm with the Master Teacher, Hebrew Thought, Yasha Ben Israel. You can find me on Eric the Mad Scientist, Gabrielle Hamalakia, Facebook. You can find me on TikTok, Eric the Mad Scientist, or TikTok, Gabrielle Hamalakia, and on my YouTube, Eric the Mad Scientist, True Knowledge. Eric the Mad Scientist on YouTube, and Yasha gonna tell you where he can find you at.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. This is Yashib in Israel. You can catch me over on TikTok. That's where I'm spending most of my time at these days, trying to build that little TikTok channel up. Over there, I'm at Yashib in Israel. You can look me up. You'll see more Ray Yasha across the top of the screen. You will be able to catch this show and other shows when I'm on YouTube at my YouTube channel, which is Yasha bin Israel Israelite Thought channel. And I got Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Yasha bin Israel, Terry Whitfield. Facebook, you'll find me at Yasha bin Israel, Elder Yasha. Uh, I have like about 5 or 6 different Facebook pages. But you more so look for me at Yasha bin Israel or at Terry Whitfield. You see my face here. You'll see me over there. You know what I'm saying? On the icons. Yasha bin Israel, Terry Whitfield. That's Instagram as well. Twitter. I'm on Twitter now. Yeah, I've been hearing Twitter been having something going on over there. That's real hot, almost like Twitter. Everything's jumping except for YouTube. YouTube is like getting in last place. So I'm over there checking out those other platforms. That's where y'all can catch me at.
Okay, we gonna get to it. We about to talk about um Genesis 6:4. We gonna break down this sons of God going into the daughters of men and Nephilim because I think we think a lot of people got this story wrong. A lot of people are teaching in a what would you call it, spookism way of it. So we're gonna break it down what these really mean. So we gonna pick up the verse first, and then we go show what verse we're talking about. Okay, so let's go to this verse. Okay, following. All right, this is Genesis 6:4. We're going to first. Can you read it, Yasha?
I don't see it yet. Is it you got it up already?
Hold on. I ain't put it up.
See if you can make the
There,
screen
there,
big.
there, there, there you go. All right.
Oh no, those words are so small, Eric.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna read it. That's cool. All right. So we go to six,
I'm
and
gonna
he
need to get a big.
repented. Uh huh.
I'm gonna need to get a bigger computer screen.
Okay. Let me see. All right.
Hold on for a
And
second.
it.
I'm see if I can make my screen big. Okay,
Okay.
I
Let
can
me.
get it big. Would you like for me to
Okay.
read it now? I can make it
Yeah, you can
big.
read
I
it because
mean,
I'm sharing while you're reading. So.
okay. It said, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he is also flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were Nephilim in the earth in those days. What the King James recorded as, translated as, there were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, the same became mighty men which were of old. That's key. He said that there were giants in the earth, there were Nephilim in the earth, right? And also after that, when the sons of God came unto the children, until the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, the same became mighty men, which were of old. old men of renown. And God's of man was great in the wicked of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Continue.
So we gonna stop right there. We gonna stop right there. Cause it's certain words I want to speak on. Okay, we gonna go to this now. Let me see.
I got
We gonna go to the
I
strong
like that verse
accord.
4.
We gonna go to the strong.
That verse 4 is real pivotal. Can you hear
We
me?
gonna go to strong according because yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We gonna go. We go to the stronger coordinates right here, right? Because there's certain words I want to speak on. Now, when people say that he repented, that's one of the words I want to speak on too. Because when I looked at this word, right, it doesn't say he repented. One of the words they use is relented, right? And when I looked up this word, it means that it's not like he repented like a human saying, "I'm sorry, please forgive me." It was more like this word means he didn't want to do it, but he had to. So this is one of
Mhm.
the words that we showing that when it says he relented is he repented doing it really mean he relented. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, hang on, well, I don't want to go back because I already got it where it said it. We could go back to that one, but the first one we'll go to this Nephilim. So let's go to this Nephilim. All right. Now, this right. So let's break it down. It says, all right. It says Nephilim, giant, name of two people, one before the flood and one after the flood. Can you break that down to why they say this? Who are these two people they speaking of?
When you come across stuff like this, it has to be understood that this is English, right? And this stuff is written to give understanding to English speaking people who are not familiar with the Afro-Asiatic school of thought. The reason why there is two understandings of this is because there has been a paradigm shift in Hebrewism. Just like how I always tell you about the Sadducees, or the sons of Zodok, right? The sons of Zodok had an understanding that was first, and then there became a paradigm shift, and after the paradigm shift, where the Pharisees came on the scene introducing rabbinical Judaism, then they began to interpret the scriptures in another different way. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happens. The idea of the Nephilims being the name of two people, one before the flood and one after the flood, when all actuality they were all one people, which were none other than the children of Seth. They have to give you another idea so that they can try to explain the spooky duke. You understand what I'm saying? Because in Pharisee Judaism, this is where all of the spooky stuff starts to come in. It starts to come into Hebrewism by way of Pharisee Judaism. So this shows you that when you see stuff like this, it shows you a paradigm shift, because there was only one school of thought at one point. Anytime that there has become another school of thought, we have to understand where that other school of thought entered in at, and it entered in during the days of Pharisee Judaism. It became a really dominant thought after 70 A.D. So you're looking at these Nephilim.
Okay. So
Uh,
to simplify for people, so to simplify for people who not hearing what he's saying, peace indigenous black man. What he's saying is they took the old translations that when we really met, and then you got to realize another people translated it didn't understand the real meaning of it, right? It had a different whole culture and aspect and idea. You know what I'm saying? So what happened is they gave their own interpretation of translation, and we're going to show this. So you see what this translation says. It says giant, so it's telling you that Nephilim was a giant. So we're going to break that down into the original word to what it really means. Then I'm going to go into two books that's
right,
called pseudepigrapha. We will go into the book of Adam and Eve. We go into Enoch, and we go show this is where they getting a lot of these other teachings that does not have to do with the Bible, right? 70
yeah.
A.D. Titus was sacking
Now look,
Jerusalem.
and before you get off of this, look at this definition where it goes down to, a definition. It says giant, right? Name of two people, one before the flood and one after the flood. In the first definition, when you look up the word Nepal, right? Uh, uh, they translate it as one who fell or those who fell, right? But when you look at it with the hiptail root, right, or the hipfal root, meaning the certain way that the people spoke, it could be also translated as those who those who caused others to fall. You understand?
Yeah. So this yeah. So this is the definition that he's talking about right here. So they had Nephilim, the modern translation from other people. They say giants. This is the original origin word that they use for Nephilim, which means is to fall, to lie. So see what I'm
Right,
saying? So it's not talking about giants. It's talking about a people who fail. A people who fell
right.
from what? Let them know, y'all.
Hebrew. That's the Hebrew thought, right? Now, when the Christians came in, and as Judaism began to progress to the more pagan ideologies, you know what I'm saying? Because that's when rabbinical Judaism came on the scene. It came on the scene as a result of the collapse and the fall into paganism of the children of Israel. That's when a rabbinical Judaism came on the scene, and it adopted much from the pagans. It adopted much from the pagans and the heathens. Words like Satan and things like that. Those words, like in Hebrew, to us it meant adversary. But by the time it got down to the Pharisees and down to the Christians and the Muslim, it began to mean like some type of non-corporeal evil spiritual being. You understand? So basically that's pretty much it in a nutshell. The word giant, the idea of giant began to seep into the translation and the Hebrew school of thought by way of Pharisee Judaism and ultimately Christianity. The best way
So
to
again,
look at these words is to look at it as to fall or to lie or to fall down or something like that. The idea of a giant is not really safe, to really expound upon that. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes you to a very non-mundane, a very non-down to earth understanding of the text, and that's what you want. You want a down to earth understanding of the text.
okay, so yeah, so basically what we're saying is and I'm gonna show you when people are talking about these giants, when they're trying to say Nephilims are giants, what doesn't say in the Bible, and we already show in the original Hebrew it don't say giants, you know what I mean? And then we know from when we taught you about Satan and how superhuman met what a powerful people, a king, a great ruler. This is the same thing giants could meet at certain times too, right? So we're
Yeah.
gonna show you some of these
Now,
books
notice
where
Eric, notice how you don't see giant right here in the Strong's Concordance for definition.
Yeah,
You don't see
yeah,
that. You see a very down to earth definition.
yeah. Even when you go down, let me see. Even when you go down to the other words, it's telling you what these words. Even when you break it
Yeah,
down into the verses, when they use it inside of verses, it's abandoned, allotted.
yeah,
Anyone falls, downfall, fail, falling down, falls away. That's why they try to say it's the falling one. See, what happened is they try to put these names, all these names on angelic beings, because they want you to
yeah,
believe in demons. So what they do is they say the fallen one, because by them reading a book that I'm about to show you called at Book of Adam and Eve that people act like they don't read. This is where they get these stories from where they're talking about fallen angels had wars
yeah,
and they fell down. They be called the fallen ones and they became demons. These are other books that they'll try to add on to the Bible and act like they're
yeah.
not getting it from these information when they are.
Yeah, and one thing that we was talking about earlier that needs to be understood because of the English language, right? You see in definition where it says to fall, then it says comma to lie. Understand that this is not lie as in not telling the truth lie. This is lie as in to fall down or to lie down or to be knocked
Hold on,
down. You know what I'm saying?
I got a question by indigenous black man because he said the Catholics were allowing pagan practices and Catholicism to convert to pagans. We agree with that. But then he
Yeah,
said Goliath. So I get he put
as
Goliath in the
well as as
question.
well as as well as rabbinical Judaism
Yeah.
because they were pagans. They were
And
not.
And Jewish mysticism.
Yeah.
So he
Now
said
this word
Goliath,
"lie"
and he put it.
it's important that we see this word "lie" is to fall because the root word for pray is not lie as in not tell the truth. And how you know this is use this like when you come across the definition of the word, when you come across the word giant or nephilim in the scripture, use the word lie as in lie down or to fall. Or try to fit the word lie as into not tell the truth, and you'll see that the sentence won't make no sense. One
Yeah,
more
because
thing
if you
that you want to know one thing you want to know that it has to do with falling down because awful, right? Which is the same root word, the conjugation of this root word anopos is tafa or tafalu, which means to pray. And it's pray because when you pray, you fall down. You prostrate yourself. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
hold
you
on. I
can
want to
see
answer
the
this question
root.
when he got about. Hold on, I want to answer this question when he got about Goliath because he put Goliath. Black man, it just a black man put Goliath. Shalom, Tazadakia. And this is black man put Goliath and put the question mark. So I guess he's saying if we trying to say it was no giant, we're not saying it was no giants. When you go into the historical or what they tried to say about Goliath, they were saying he wasn't no more than like 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet. We can under now
He ain't
we
like
can
9 feet.
presume that
Yeah,
because we got yeah, we can
yeah.
understand
Those
that
are
because
not.
we got people right now. The tallest man in the world was 8'11", right? So what we're saying is these giants that
Yeah,
they're trying to talk about, they're basing it off of what you call the Book of Enoch, really. And we're going to show that the Book of Enoch is not saying that these giants are only 7, 8 feet. They're saying these giants were 3, 4, 500 feet. Now you will have to show that how a normal woman on Earth can have these type of size giants. Because even if he was a baby, let's say he was
oh,
10 feet as a baby, a woman ain't having no 10 foot child. So we have to understand
yeah. And a
what the
woman
aspect of
just
what these
a
books are
woman.
saying.
Yeah, these women is just not a 5 foot because it's unrare. It's rare for a woman to be 6 foot. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
the average man. But for a woman, she's not 6 feet. So we looking at a woman who is not even 6 feet having sex with a giant whose penis is bigger than her body. What about think about a 400-foot giant? You're talking about a giant that is about as big as the Detroit Renaissance building, skyscraper status. I mean, what are they going to eat? You got to understand that to a 400-foot giant, a whale is like a sardine to him.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Now
What did
you,
they eat?
yeah. Now this is black man. You're saying Terry the devil is the father of lies according to scripture. Now you were saying the devil is a lie, but we're not saying that the devil said it. We're saying Enoch said this, and we're saying people are basing that Nephilim is giants based off Enoch because there's nowhere in the Bible where it says that Nephilim were giants. It doesn't say
Yeah,
that.
Enoch is what you call pseudepigrapha. And
Yeah,
these pseudepigrapha is books. It means false writings, and they call them false writings because these are books that has names that's attributed to that's been authored by people that the books are not named after, like the book of Mark. If Mark didn't write the book of Mark, then that's pseudepigrapha. You understand? If John did not write the book of John, then the book of John becomes pseudepigrapha. If Enoch did not write the book of Enoch, then the book of Enoch is pseudepigrapha, and Enoch did not write the book of Enoch because writing as we know it did not exist until the time of Moses. You understand? Writing as we know it today, outside of rhambuses and hieroglyphics and things of that nature, a cuneic form, actual word putting together sentences with phonetic writing, that started around the time of Moses. There's no evidence that writing a paper, they didn't even have paper. Paper started in the days of Moses with the papyri, right? That's where the word paper comes from. So the paper as we know it, books, that stuff didn't exist in the days of Enoch.
yeah. And then we got to also understand this, right? Like I said, these people are getting this stuff from other stuff. But because when we got to go back to the first thing before this Nephilim, we got to go back to what people saying the sons of God, right? People are trying
Hmm.
to place the sons of God. Because first, all right, because check this out. First, y'all calling them the fallen ones, right? So then, first, y'all say these angels were in
Yeah,
heaven and they failed. Now, then
yeah,
you calling the other angels the sons of God, and then you saying these sons of gods were became wicked too. So wouldn't they be fallen ones? But then you saying these sons of God that came down and had sex with women. Now we all know that angels and angelology and the way they said it is our celestial beings. So how would they be able to have sex with human women? See, this is where we start talking about mythology. This is when we start talking about they getting this stuff from pagan mythology and mixing it in. Now,
yeah.
but
And
also,
it doesn't fit in. I have to say it doesn't fit in
now
with the
when you
scripture
talking about the
because
son of,
in the New Testament it says something about the angels is not given to sex and stuff like that.
yeah.
Spiritual
Now when we talking
beings and
about
stuff like that. They don't eat and have sex and stuff like that according to the New Testament. So this stuff it just
now when
doesn't
we
fit
talk
with the
about
Bible.
now when we talk about Adam, when we talk about Adam now, Adam is considered a son of God, right? Adam is considered
Yeah,
a son of God. Adam is in the image and likeness of the Most High, meaning that he don't look like him. In the image and likeness, meaning the power that God gave him. That I showed you the verses where it's saying that He gave him dominion. He made him a creator.
yeah,
So that's what it means. Now he had two sons. Cain killed Abel, which is destroyed really the bloodline of Adam that was trying to go down. So that's why God allowed Seth to come because they said Seth was in the image of Adam. You see what I'm saying? So when they're talking about the children of God, it's going down from Adam into the line of Seth. So when it's
Ca-
and then you got the line of Cain, which they was called like the wicked ones. They was called the children of Cain, which is the
yeah,
daughters of men. So the sons of
yeah,
God, self lineage mixed in with Cain lineage, and which
yeah,
destroyed the bloodline, and which
yeah.
that's why they say when they got to Noah, they was trying to say Noah was the only person coming from a certain bloodline and was still
Now
pure.
before you back up out of this, can you go back to that Genesis text again? I want to show y'all something on that
Okay.
verse 4.
And we don't do we. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me show this. All right, that's it. Let's go to that. Thanks to all the people watching. Subscribe and like, subscribe and like. We trying to break this down for y'all. We trying to bring real Hebrew thought, real stuff to the Bible, to the books, man. So you can be able to defend it. You can be able to teach it and learn it the real way, man. So thank y'all for watching. All right, let's get to it.
Right. Now, due to the two translations that I told you, you got those that fell, right, or those that lied, not lied
Mhm.
as a, like lied, like as in laid down, right? Those that fell, and you also have a translation those that cause others to fall, right? Now, remove this word giant, right, and put that Hebrew definition there, and we're going to try and see how that works and how much more sense and how much more real this sentence becomes. There were those that caused there were those who caused others to fall in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and
So
they bare
which
them.
means the sons, which means the sons of self. Okay,
Right
came
now,
into the
when you talk
daughters of
about
Canaan.
right when you talk about the sons of God, right, the Benai Elohim. Okay, there's two or three different words in Hebrew for son, right? And Ben can mean a natural son, but it also can be adopted son. It can be a son that you raised up, or a son that you had built up, because the word Ben, right, means to build. You understand what I'm saying? A binyayim is a building. You see what I'm saying? What I did was took Ben and made Ben Yaim, made it plural. A Ben Yaim is a building, and it also is another word for saying like how we build sentences. In the Hebrew language, we talk about the building of sentences as the Ben Yaim. You see what I'm saying? So Ben also means those who God, the ones whom God raised up, the ones who God specifically built up, came unto the daughters of men, and they bear children unto them. The same became mighty men. They didn't become. You see, he didn't say that the same became mighty giants.
Yeah.
It said the same became mighty men, which were of old. These were old men, men who were known. He said men of renown, men that were known. We don't know about these men
And
today
hold
because
on
they
right there, because you know what, it just, I got to stop it there because that just made so much sense. Because now when you read it, it says there was those who caused the fall, or to those who fail, right, on the earth, and went down into the daughters of men. Now you just said that Ben, a son of God, meant to raise. So these people were
Mhm,
rose by God and they failed. That's why they was called to fall. So when you put the sons of
mhm.
God and you put the Nephilim, which is the Paul means to fall, when you put that together, it makes sense because they was people who
Yeah, it shows
rose, who God rose, and then they
the two
failed
different.
and then became wicked with the daughters of men of Cain.
Yeah, it shows the two different dynamics, and the sentence just flows, and it makes all the sense like that. This is why I
Yes.
tell you that it's important that you learn Hebrew, and if you can't learn Hebrew, then learn the Hebrew thought. We was talking earlier today, and I was saying how you really don't have to know Hebrew, but what you do have to do is ascertain the Hebrew thought. And what I'm doing is showing y'all how to ascertain the Hebrew thought. And the best way to ascertain the Hebrew thought for those who do not know the Hebrew language is to grab yourself a Strong's Concordance and a Smith's Bible Dictionary, and you use these the way that I have just showed you how to use them, and that's how you will acquire the Hebrew thought.
Let me see. Black. In this black man said, "Mighty doesn't mean righteous." No, Nimrod
You
was
can say
called
powerful.
mighty.
They became
Yeah,
powerful men.
yeah. That's what we're trying to say. Because that's why God destroyed. That's why the Most High in this story destroyed it, because these men that came from these children, everything became wicked after that. That's what the purpose of it saying it.
Hmm. Now, mighty, you're right. Mighty doesn't mean righteous.
Yeah.
Just like the mighty Europeans of today that's running the world, and the mighty Illuminati. They're not righteous, but my God, they're mighty.
Yeah.
They so mighty they can come snatch you up and put you right in jail, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Okay, you were just agreeing. That's cool. We feel you. It's a art. Okay,
Brother
yeah. Then this black man
Tazadakia
said
in the
he
house.
all these fake teachers. Let me see. This Tazadaki. I can't really see what it's saying because it's blocking. I don't know why. I
All the
guess it's
fake
some kind
teachers
of.
and leaders is making us fall. That's right. And
Yeah,
now you
yeah. We
got
agree.
that's you see how the Hebrew thought is just being radiated throughout the airwaves. See how simple that
Yeah.
is. These people
Yep.
have to lie to y'all. They have to conflate 5 or 6 different books, and even they even go to books that are considered in their own religion as non-canonical, non-accepted. You know what I'm saying? Books that are considered non-inspired and non-holy, they go to these books and still spread this rhetoric because most of the stuff that they're saying is not in the Bible. The Bible does not speak of giants. Someone say, yes, it does. Well, your English King James Bible does. I could take you to the many different translations. There's a site where we can go to that has multiple translations, and you will see that every translator do not translate this as Bible. I mean, as giant. You see, and really, truthfully, those who do translate it as giant is always those of Christianity that are mixing these pagan ideologies. All of these giants that they talking about, these 300-400 feet giants, those were not the giants that the Hebrews were recording and speaking of. We were speaking of big men that's 9, 10, and maybe even 11 feet tall, 13 feet tall, nothing no more than that. I mean, just 10 feet, 9 feet, 8 feet, stuff like that. We're not talking about men.
Which we know is possible.
Yeah,
Scientifically, historically possible.
yes, it's possible. It's not possible. I was looking, earlier today on the web, at these big old bones that they be saying that they archaeologists is finding and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is, we living in a day of Photoshop, and
Yeah,
a lot of those images have been proven fake.
yeah. And it's sad, man, because it's like people just reach and grab anything just because to prove a point instead of teaching the realness of it. And that's what we trying to get people. We trying to get rid of all this fakeness. We trying to get back to y'all, man. We trying to get back to worshiping y'all, to going back into the Hebrew cultures, to going back into Hebrew thought. We getting tired of y'all pushing. Well, not y'all. My bad. We getting tired of these leaders and false teachers pushing the falseness, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
why so much people confused because they reading this stuff and they see Nephilim and they automatically think giant when they can't. They when you go into the Hebrew, don't say giant.
How about
You
this?
going up,
How
you
about
going up, you going up for a pagan translation, and you're teaching
yes,
paganism and don't even know it.
yes, yes? How about? I mean, man, I was going to say a thought, man, and you came with something so powerful it just jarred my whole head.
Yeah, we just
I mean,
you
but
teaching
it,
paganism.
yeah, and see, Israel. We want the Hebrew thought. We want the Israelite thought, right? Israel means he that will rule is God. Yah is he, right? There's two ways to say he in Hebrew. You can say hua, or you can say a Yah, right? So Yah is he, Shah is rule, to govern, to rule, right? And El is strength, might, and power. Tell me, how can we rule with strength and might and power with lies and mythological ideologies, unrealities floating through our spirituality? How?
Can't.
Fake from fake will produce fake.
Yeah.
No
So
power.
yeah. So understand when y'all reading these translations, because we want to break it down to you again. When you reading this stuff, understanding it's been translated by a people who is not part of this culture, who whole culture is different, who teaches paganism, who believes in different gods, who believes in all this other stuff. So when they come and try to translate it, they only can translate it in their own thought of culture, own society. You see what I'm
How,
saying? So,
how about this?
so mm,
How about we talk about power? Eric, go ahead, finish what you're saying. I want to talk about power. And how
oh,
these
you go ahead.
Europeans is using power against us. You know what I'm saying? And the power of the mind. And believing in all of this fakehood, this falsehood, this mythological stuff. There was a time when I was a child that you couldn't produce the fake. You couldn't you couldn't falsify reality. You know what I'm saying? We living in a day where these people have mastered falsifying reality. These people can produce a hologram of a fallen angel falling from the sky, and you would think that that's a real angel. We
Yeah,
had things that were happening down in Miami, and I'm looking at these beings, and these beings, they were glitching in and out of reality like holograms, bro.
yeah,
I'm just saying that these people can fake you with all type of fake stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you will believe it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And your New Testament warns you. Your Jesus Christ warns you about stuff like this. And I'm
yeah,
not preaching Christianity, but I'm saying this to show how out of line the Jesus people is.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Jesus tell you about all these signs and wonders they gonna do in the sky.
And
That
and
didn't
again,
Jesus talk about that?
yeah, yeah. And again, everybody that's watching, thank you for watching. Subscribe and like. We got some more coming in because at the end we're gonna talk about L. We're gonna break down L for you. Um, because a lot of people say L is a wicked word. It comes from paganism. It comes from Satan. It comes from all this stuff. So we go break down. So I don't even I wasn't going to the book of Adam and Eve, and the book of Enoch, but I think we broke down them two books so much outside of it that we really got to go inside of it. But I'm just gonna break down a little bit for you for the book of Adam and Eve. The book of Adam and Eve, I'm gonna say is more, even though it's pseudepigrapha, is more closer to the idea of what Hebrew thought is, meaning they show you that it's self lineage, going down. They was at the top of the mountain. They were separated from Cain, and they went down because they had no food. They had nothing. They had nothing to eat. You know what I mean? They were just sitting there where Cain and them was doing all type of wicked stuff, and they became influenced by it, and they went down. So the children of Seth during the time of Jared, supposed to have went down into the daughters of Cain and mixed in with them. And then everybody became wicked to where it only was a certain people left, like Noah. So that's just the story of Adam and Eve. It's bigger figure too. But then you got Enoch. Enoch is the story. It's talking about him going to heaven, that he's seeing angels, and they're telling him that the angels went down and had sex with women, and these women produced giants, and then these giants became wicked, and they couldn't control them, and then God had to flood the earth. You see what I'm saying? So when people are getting this story, understand this story is not coming from the Bible, because the Bible don't teach that. They are taking these stories and then they're telling you don't. Your leaders are taking these stories and then telling you not to read them. But then they're taking them stories and then trying to add it to it and answer it. Then they're
Yeah,
taking stuff like
they conflating these stories to give you these false understandings of the Bible.
yeah. Then they take like the book of Adam and Eve. When people talking about Satan was in heaven and God told him to bow down to Adam, and he was mad because Adam. Because I used to hear my mama talk about this. Now my mama was a straight Christian, right? And so her preacher is teaching her this, and I'm like, where did she get this story from? So of him wanting to not wanting to bow down to Adam, and then he got the other angels to rebel, and then Michael fought the other angels, and they kicked them out, and they became fallen angels. This is coming from books like Enoch. They coming from books like the book of Adam and
Yeah.
Eve. They coming from
Could
pseudo
you check this out?
yeah,
Let me interject real quick, real quick. Hold that thought. And they also go to the books of Isaiah to try to get you to think that Isaiah records this story of the fallen angels with the Lucifer story, and they'll lie to you and tell you that that was the Lucifer, the devil story. Foretold. He was. They make it like Isaiah was reiterating the story of Satan falling from the sky
Yes.
as the Lucifer story, and that stuff that the Lucifer was the king was a amalgamation of all of the kings of Israel. It was a taunt song, a song that the Israelites sung to taunt the kings of Babylon.
Yeah, and if you go into my video on my page, Eric the Man Santa, you'll see I made a video called Lucifer. I'm breaking it down in verses to show that it was a man. And you go to Isaiah on the 16th chapter, when you go to the 16th verse, you can see that it says it was a man. Because back in the day, rulers and kings produced themselves as gods. So when he seen this man fall, they was like, wow, this is the man that did all this stuff to all these different nations. You see what I'm saying? So when it's
It's a
talking about
man.
him, when it's talking about him wanting to be as to exalt to heaven and be high as God, we're not talking about no man flying like Superman in the sky. He's talking about being worshipped, because you don't
Yeah,
have to be as high as God to fly. You all you got to be is worship. Right now, Jesus is more worshipped in the world than God.
yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So what he's mean? He's talking about worship. He's talking about people acknowledging him and worshiping him as a God. He didn't
yeah.
have to fly in heaven and try to take over heaven. That is
And the Pope
that is
and the
false.
Pope and the Pope is worshipped more than Jesus.
Yeah. So that's what this means. So when they say he fell from his rulership. He fell from his power, his kingdom. That what it is. When it's talking about falling, you could talk about falling spiritually. You could talk about falling from God's great power. It could be talking about falling from your kingdom, your throne.
Yeah,
That's what it means to fall. It's not talking about
yeah,
angelic beings getting their wings cut off and they're falling out the sky. Okay, that's not
yeah.
what it's talking about.
And he talked about how this Lucifer in Isaiah would die and how he would be buried and how the worms and stuff would consume his body.
Exactly.
These were human men that the Bible were talking about. And once we can get to understand these concepts, we can regain our power and our sovereignty back, just as Israelites. You don't understand the power that we will have within this world if we operated in the righteous power of Yah. We'd be
Exactly.
unstoppable.
Yes.
You got all these
We need
guys
to
out
put.
here telling lies, these false preachers rocking us to sleep. They doing the same thing as those men of old was doing.
Yes. And we here to come. We tell people we're messengers of God, man. And we that's what we are, because we don't studied long enough. We don't learn long enough. We don't, what I'm saying, and we understand like he said, you had to understand the ancient culture. You had to understand how they thought. Okay, if you don't
And to prove
understand the
that,
culture, you don't understand nothing.
and to prove that, again in verse 4, he said that these were mighty men of old, men of renown. If you don't know the things of the past, you have no
Exactly.
idea what these people talking about.
Exactly. Now let's talk about, because I know one time you wanted to talk about how the first translation before it got into the original Hebrew, to where it says to fall. So their translation, when they try to say giant, and it said to two people, one before the flood, one after. Can you break down what that mean by that? Why are you trying to say that? And
Well,
then I read one time that one of these giants, I think, because I seen something named Anak, and one of these, when you look up Anak, is actually Canaan, and then the other one was like Moab. But I don't know. I ain't really studied enough to get that what that means. But can you break down what they saying the two people before
I
and
can't
after?
really, I can't really break it down as much as, because I don't study the rabbinical form and the second form in which
Yeah.
it reverted to. I go back to the purest Hebrew thought and I eliminate all other things else. And what I did was is gave y'all the original Hebrew thought. What I will say is that some kind of way they're trying to say that that bloodline, the Nephilim bloodline, survived after the flood some kind of way. Now, we don't, well, and there's no real. I haven't came across no pseudepigrapha, no apocryphal writings, no extra biblical verses and stuff like that. I haven't came across nothing so far that really explain that, and that's one of those gray areas in the text where Christians use to revert y'all back to the spooky Duke. Those It's
Yeah.
those gray areas. You know what I'm saying? That can't be, and there's things in the Bible that can't be explained thoroughly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, you know, and it just works like that. There's a lot of things in that Bible that we just don't know. The history, the understanding have just completely been lost, and
All right. Before.
those are what I call gray areas in the Bible. It is these gray areas that Christians use to usurp the Israelite thought.
Okay. Now, thank you for everybody for watching. It's Labyrinth right now. We go to the second subject, but the first I'm gonna break down the first for people who just getting on. We was talking about.
Before you go to it, I forgot to finish. I was going to leave an incomplete thought. Uh,
Okay.
so what that gray area is intended to do was to have you wondering, okay, did any flesh survive the flood?
Yeah.
Okay, and you'll find arguments like this in biblical scholarship. Did a lot of people saying the Nephilim survived the flood? And then
Yeah.
others will try to say somehow that the Nephilim blood passed down through one of Noah's through Noah and one of his seeds.
Yeah. I mean, which if they was normal men, and I mean, it could have just do DNA.
Yeah.
I
So
don't really know about.
these are the
Yeah.
arguments in scholarship, and you could that's how, and they there because those are those gray areas that I was telling you
Yeah.
about. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So again, we about to go to the second subject, but we breaking down the people who was just watching. You
I
go back
will.
to the video once we finish.
Hey, look,
We
I will say this. I will say this. The reason why we have these gray areas because somewhere we lost the idea and the respect to harness the knowledge of the old, like the men of old and all of that stuff in the past. We lost that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And because of that, especially when the Israelite kingdom came to a fall, the several times that every time the kingdom came to a fall, we lost something.
Yeah. So the first subject we were talking about was the Nephilim, the sons of God going into the children of men. Again, you got to understand that these is a lineage from Seth mixing in with the lineages of the daughters of Canaan, creating mighty men and causing wickedness, so much wickedness on the earth that the God did not repent. Now, don't forget that word. He relented, meaning he didn't want to do it, but he had to. So he did not repent for doing what he had to do. He relented, meaning he didn't want to do it, but he had to do it. Right.
Yeah,
So
it's good to
people,
learn that Hebrew word.
yeah. So I want to get to this ale because I remember you was breaking down this ale because you had a lot of problems with people talking about the word ale and saying that it's separate from what our most high. So what was the problem that you had with the people speaking on ale?
Okay, you got groups, more so. I'm gonna point the finger at GOCC.
Hmm.
I got me a Scooby Dooby up, so I don't want to disrespect my audience, but mostly coming from GOCC. GOCC teaches that words like Yahweh, Ahaya, I'm not Yahweh, Yahweh, Elohim, Lord, God, pretty much any other word other than Ahaya is the devil. And that's I have a problem with that because the scripture says that God's name is Yahweh, and his name will be Yahweh forever, right? The problem I have with that is that Ahaya and Yahweh is the same word, man. It's no different. It's a contraction. You see, ahaya or ehia, more properly pronounced, because there's no word as ahaya, right? It's ehia. Ehia, the word itself means to exist, right? And Yahweh is just the conjugation of that, like he that causes to exist. You know what I'm saying? He that exists continuously. You understand? Uh, it's like Mike is a contraction of Michael. You know, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahuwah, or the Yod He Wah He Tetragrammaton. This word comes from, I don't know whether I'm still on the air.
Yeah, I'm bringing up some.
Yeah,
Yeah, here, go
yeah,
ahead.
but these words, this word comes from the word, it comes from the Hebrew haya verb. Okay, it comes from the haya verb, is where they get a haya from, ehia. It comes from that. You see, so Yahweh is a longer, extended version of the word Ehia. Like Ehia would be like Mike, right? Yahweh would be like Michael. You see, Ehia would be like Rick or Richard or Ricky, where a Richard would be the extended version of Yahweh. It's the same thing.
Can you read? Can you read this part right here? This from the Britannica.
It says Yahweh, name for the God of the Israelites, representing the biblical pronunciation of Yod He Wahe, the Hebrew name revealed to Moses in the book of Exodus. The name Yod He Wahe consists of the sequence of consonants Yod He Wahe, is known as the Tetragrammaton. After the Babylonian exile in the 6th century BCE, and especially from the 3rd century BCE on, Jews ceased to use the name Yahweh for two reasons. As Judaism became a universal rather than merely a local religion, the more common Hebrew noun Elohim, plural in form but understood in the singular, meaning God, tended to replace Yahweh to demonstrate the universal sovereignty of Israel's God over all others. At the same time, the divine name was increasingly regarded as too sacred to be uttered. It was replaced vocally in the synagogue ritual by Hebrew word Adonai, meaning my Lord or my strength, my power, which was translated as Kyrios, Lord, in the Septuagint, the Greek version of the Hebrew scriptures.
Hmm.
You know,
When people trying to say Elohim means gods and all that, that is bull. It does not, in the biblical form. It does not mean gods. It means
he said,
God.
as Judaism became universal rather than a merely local religion, the more common Hebrew noun Elohim. Okay, I want to say something about that. You
Hmm.
got, okay, you got, see, the word Elohim, it doesn't mean God, right?
Okay. Okay.
It doesn't mean God. It doesn't mean God. If you was to look it up in the Strong's Concordance, the word Elohim, it'll tell you that that was a generic
Yeah. Yeah. You're
word
right.
for God. What that means is like father is a generic word for my male progenitor. You understand what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
like president is a generic word for the leader of a country, of a democratic country. You did.
Yeah.
So words like God, like Elohim, not excuse me, words like Elohim was considered power. You got the Aleph and the Lamed. If you look in the ancient Hebrew, you got this bull head, and the Lamed, which is the staff. The bull head represented power, strength, might. The staff represented direction. So you're talking about a pretty much a leader, you see. And this is why you can understand Psalms 82:6, where it says that ye are Elohim, how human beings, man, are Elohim, because we are sons of El Elyon. We're sons of the Most High. The Most High Yahweh is Elyon. He is the one that's he is the big high El.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with this thing is that El is not, it's just a generic term, like, say, for instance, the president. We can't say that these people are trying to say that, oh, they got El from the Canaanites, but El, you got to understand that the Semitic languages is one of the most oldest languages on the planet, if not the oldest language family on the planet. And understand that there's many languages and many dialects inside of these Afro-Asiatic language families, and all of these languages and all of these people, like the Arabs, the Sabians, the Cushites, the Hebrews, the Aramaics, the Chaldeans, all of them use the word El, and all of them had different ideologies and different understandings of this word El. This meaning that the El of Israel was not the El of Canaan. The El of Canaan was not the El of Arabia. The El of Arabia was not the El of the Chaldeans. You understand? No more
Yeah.
than my father is not your father. Your father is not the man across the street father. The man across the street father is not the man in Europe's father. You see,
So, so
no
you
different.
so you basically saying is like a title.
Yeah, it's a generic word. It's a
Yeah.
generic title for God.
Yeah.
Just like a president. You can't say, oh, well, the president of Zimbabwe is the same as the president of the United States because they have the same name. Or something even more ridiculous, that the South Africans stole the concept of president from the European white man. No, it ain't that. It is, there's a president in Zimbabwe, there's a president in the United States. There's a
Yeah.
president in Mexico, right?
So
It's like
so so why so why do you think they mis teaching people that El and Yahweh and all that is wicked names and not real?
well, that right there came from GOCC. And if you understand the genetic makeup
Hmm.
of the One West camps, you know that those camps had sold out.
Yeah.
Those, and if you listen to Nate had made a video where he talked about how all those guys sold out to the Rosicrucians, meaning that Masonry
Yeah.
and the Illuminati and the Rosicrucians and all of these people has infiltrated these groups. When you go to GOCC will teach you, they teach from the Bible and they teach from other Masonic writings. They'll send you to a book. They'll direct you to, they'll teach out of Madame Blavatsky's books. You know what I'm
Really?
saying? Yeah, they will go to Masonic books to show you and show you how Yahweh and El is inside the Masonic lodges and all of this stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and they'll try to use all of that to say that those were really the devil's gods and they infiltrated us all into worshiping their gods, which is a bunch of bullcrap.
Yeah.
Because masonry ain't nothing but masonry convolute stuff. The Masons is the one who stole the knowledge, not the other way around.
Yeah. Now, and understand that the language they're talking is not like the original Hebrew. Is they call it Lashon Kadash and they call it the Hebrewic Aramaic, but
It's not. In fact, that language is about as intelligible as Pootie Tang. You ever saw the movie Pootie Tang?
yeah.
I'ma sign your pity on the runny kind. what about what about excuse me? What about this one? The water. Don't the water sound like water top?
Yeah.
Pootie Tang, just straight Pootie Tang. Pootie Tang was this movie where this guy, the star of the show, spoke not one intelligible word throughout the whole damn movie, and everybody appeared to sing to understand what he was saying, and did nobody understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
And yet, still, everybody loved him. And that's pretty much what you're getting with these one West camp. You guys love Pootie Tang, your Pootie Tang Israel, your Pootie
Yeah.
Tang Hebrew. You know, you can't even conduct a sentence. These guys been studying Hebrew 40, 50. They've been studying Hebrew since the 60s, man. And you mean to tell me y'all can't construct no more than 3 sentences, bro?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You'd have been better off learning a sentence a year. If you would have learned a sentence a year since the 1960s, you'd have been better off speaking better Hebrew than you do now.
Yeah.
You will sit
Now,
up there
now,
and tell
now,
us, they'll sit up
I
there and
was,
lie to us. They'll sit up there and lie to us and tell us that that's the original Hebrew, but if and that they know that it is. But if you know that it is, then why can't you speak a sentence?
yeah,
If you know that those words is it, then why you don't know the rest of the words?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, like I seen the discussion where the guy was debating the Yara. He was trying to say that Israelites worship different gods, but what he not understand is we have worshiped different gods, but we ain't supposed to have. We did it when we got influenced and joined in with other paganism. It was a time
yeah,
we was with Canaanites and we were sacrificing children. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a time when they did it, but they did. That don't mean they supposed to have done it.
yeah.
Because the first two commandments tell you not to do it. So it's like I don't understand, like and the reason I like talking about this stuff because I be like I be seeing certain shows and I see people like Sarnetta. He'll bring up and I like when Sarnetta does this because it lets a lot of people see that a lot of these people is not knowledgeable into these scriptures. He'll bring up scriptures and say, "What does this mean?" And he'll say what his interpretation is because he's trying to do it in the best way, but then Israelites can't answer it.
Well,
And I'm like, wow,
the thing with
yeah,
Sarnetta goes, man, is that guys like Sarnetta and all of the guys, including the Israelite birds of a feather flock together, man. And I respect them guys for what they respectful for, but I'm going to also tell the truth, you know. And really, truthfully, almost anybody that's in league with the House of Consciousness, you know what I'm saying? Almost everybody, and I'm willing to bank on that. You know what I'm saying? Are people, but like I say, birds of a feather flock together. These are the type of people, man, that 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 plays on your ignorance. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they do the appeal. They just highly fallacious, and they appeal to the ignorance of the masses, man.
yeah,
And that's what they do. You know, pretty much they are an insult to pure intelligence.
yeah. And that's why we're telling y'all just to be careful who y'all listening to, man. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? With me and y'all, we don't try to be sitting here and try to tell people to make cults, and we trying to teach you so you can go learn, so you can spread the real knowledge and get away from these people that's teaching you falsehood. They're teaching you in a way to brainwash you. I'm telling you because I've been in camp schools. The reason I didn't join is because when I had questions because I always had questions. That's why I love Christianity. That's why I
Do,
left a lot of stuff. Because if you go tell me that you're not gonna answer nothing and you have the truth and I have to take what you tell me, I'm not gonna sit around you. I'm
but
gonna take the truth if you tell me the truth. And that's just
what's the
you know what I
motive
mean?
for this though? You know, the motive for this is to keep have you running around here with Israel on your sleeve, but you not being Israelite. You
Yeah,
see, they had the whole goal is to have you clicked up in this group and you basking and worshiping the idea of you being an Israelite only, but you don't have the Israelite thought.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Basically, joining these groups is none other than security away from the goal that the
Hey,
mark
hey,
that we should be hitting.
break down, because because you're a part of that. You're basically the teacher of that creation. I call you the master teacher. Break down to the people what is Hebrew thought. Let them know exactly what this means.
The Hebrew thought is the thought of the writers and the authors of the Bible. They were Hebrews, and you got to understand that the Bible that we have is an ancient Afro-Asiatic thought, and it has been conflated into a modern Anglo-Saxon school of thought, which is two worlds totally different apart. You want to do it? Yeah. Go ahead, E.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, so that's what we're trying to get you to understand. That the Hebrew thought, we're trying to get you to understand that we taking back the reality of the culture and how ancient people really thought. Like we tell you, Satan means adversary. It's a nation or a person or a superhuman, meaning a person of power, a king that is against Israel. Devil at a time which they don't use really is really demons. Demons were idols, false gods. Okay, it's when other people worship false gods. They worship demons. That's what he called them: goat demons, idols, cows, whatever bulls, whatever they. Even when Moses freed the people, what happened? He went up to the mountain. He came down and had to bash the Ten Commandments because why the people made an idol. I mean, they ain't
How
even
about,
wait.
hey, hey,
You
how
see what I'm
about
saying?
this? How about this? You know how you know the old cliche? They call us everything except the sons of God, which is what we
Exactly.
actually is, and we worship everything except for the real God. When we talk about that scripture in the demons, the scripture said that you worship these things that are not God. They ain't even gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
People.
give these
People.
things all this power that they don't have,
Yeah.
and which renders you powerless. You give your power to these false pagan deities, and you
Exactly.
wonder why we are the bottom. That's your power, and you giving it away to the Europeans. You giving it away to the white man. You giving it away to false religion and all of this bullshit. That's your power that God gave to you, your heritage, your legacy. Did not the Most High tell Israel that He was going to restore you? Everything that you lost, our God, our Elohim, our power, our strength is going to restore you. He's doing it right now as we speak. I let my plane.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we get out of here, look, take our time, man. Watch Yasha Ben Israel YouTubes. He got damn near 300 videos of him breaking down Hebrew thought, man. You know, they try to keep us on the low because we're trying to teach the right way. They don't want the truth to come out. They want it in this way. They want it in this way where they can keep these cults going, where they can keep getting money
Yeah,
from people, where they can keep
uh,
brainwashing people. They don't
suppress.
like this truth.
They're suppressing Israel. That's what they're doing.
Yeah,
They're
they're
suppressing.
suppressing our movement, man. So, but we
They're
coming.
suppressing
Trust me,
our
we
power.
coming.
They're suppressing our power. You know, when you say the Shema in Hebrew, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. Shema, Shema Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Ahad. What you're really saying is, understand, Israel, that your power and your strength is in your unity. That's what it's
Yep.
saying. And what they're doing is trying to harness the uniting of Israelites away from their power. That's all they ever took from you. They didn't take no God from you. They gave you God. They have always taken your power.
Yeah, and I would think what is his name? Black
What are they
Lion.
doing in Africa right now? They
And
draining Africa of its power.
Casadakia, peace to you, girl. Yeah, and that's why I tell people we gotta get back to, you know, we gotta understand that we were a nation. See, the problem is people are, Israel was a nation, and you gotta understand at that time there was a nation of people on the land, and we gotta understand they had a culture. They was an ancient people that, we can't think like the way these people thinking now when we coming from basing off Christianity. When you leave Christianity, you supposed to leave Christianity behind. You don't supposed to
Yeah,
take it with you. You don't supposed to make
yeah,
it black. You don't supposed to you see what I'm saying? You don't supposed to
yeah.
take it and try to teach it in the
See,
Israelite way. You supposed to leave that alone and leave it because we all have our own Israelite teachings.
yeah, we have a thought today of the Anglo-Saxon thought that we're practicing. We have us following Anglo-Saxon Nordic paganism. You know, like I said, the hell that you call out your mouth when you talking about your religion and your God and your Jesus is the same hell that goes back to the Nordic god hell.
Yeah,
Same name, everything. You
hell is no
understand?
different than Hades.
Yeah, and that go back to Haiti. All that stuff is all pagan, and it's just not real. And what we need to do is understand, man, that like I said, it, how are you going to advance? How are you going to advance in your power when you are invested in falsehood?
Exactly.
How? Okay, I'm gonna go pay you. I'm gonna go tell you that. Okay, I'm gonna go hire you to work for me, and I'm gonna tell you you're gonna get paid on Friday. When Friday come, you don't never get paid. How you gonna get How you gonna advance, man?
Exactly.
Because I lied to you and misled you that I was gonna pay you Friday. If I don't never pay you Friday, how will you advance in my falsehood? The only person going to advance is me because I'm gonna keep have you working for free, and I'm the only one going to benefit.
Yep.
We're talking about power, might, strength. We're not talking about Odin, the god of the pagan Valhalla, the Nordic Anglo-Saxon Valhalla. You die and you worship him. Odin was the god of war. And the only person that made it to his Valhalla in the sky, his heaven, was those who worshipped him, those who fought for him. And you see how the valor of your Christians now. All of this stuff
Yeah.
is
Yeah, the
paganism.
doctor, we gotta get you on. We gotta get you on here one day. Tells the doctor, I ain't never meet you yet. You know, I would love to be with you on the show one day. So we gotta get you. We gotta
Solid-
holler on a date one day. I'm gonna get Yasha
Hey,
to hit you
hey,
up.
you and Tadazaki are the main reasons why I do this because if no one else has appointed me as their elder, you guys have.
Yeah.
So I can't act like I'm not an elder or anything like or irresponsible. You guys have appointed me even when I didn't want to be appointed, and I accept.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tajuzaki, I solid beans out here, bro. I did his. He called me to help and officiate his vowel renewal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he actually had me operating in the ministry. He
No, that's
put
good.
this old minister to work.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, we need more. We need more people, man. We need more people like you. So, cause y'all should tell me a lot of good things about you, brother. So, I mean, yeah, we got to meet. It's one day we supposed to have met up, and I just couldn't get on the show. But I remember that. So I've been trying to get up with you for a while.
Yeah, we all got to catch up,
But
meet up, do a show together.
I'm yeah, but I'm not gonna make this show too long because I want people to come back and watch it. You know, we ain't like these other people that the guy will go 400-500 hours to get a couple
Right.
of views. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
y'all
So,
go. Hey, y'all go over to my channel. I got a thing, a video about the six meanings of El, the six different names of El, where these people will have you
yeah,
all thinking that there's six different gods, and really it's ignorance because it's nothing more than the misunderstanding of the Hebrew language. I'll give you an
yeah, I
example.
might go
El,
stop by there. I might go stop by today to go look at it.
yeah, El, the power, right? So you got Eli, my power, right? You got Elohik, your power, masculine. Elohik, I mean feminine, your power. Elohika, your power, your strength, feminine. You see what I'm saying? Masculine, feminine. Then you got
Yeah,
Eloheinu, that's our power, our strength. That's not no different. They make it like all of these are different gods. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it's nothing no more than designation and delineation of speech, man. My God, your God, our God. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
That's why
yeah.
I
They try
say
to, yeah,
it's important to learn Hebrew because there's no way the Strong's Concordance is going to give you an understanding of that. You have to study the Hebrew language, and these things become clear. Salika. Salika. Yeah, I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
So I
see.
lay my plate, man. I didn't. I done pretty much gave out the rest of it. Go over there and check out, the 6 different meanings of El. It's on the video side. There's 3 sides on the YouTube channel. You got the shorts, you got the videos, and you got the live streams. It would be on the video side.
Yeah, yeah. Check Yasha Big Israel. It's called Yasha Israel Israelite Thought on YouTube. Check out his TikTok, Yasha Big Israel. Check out his Facebook, Yasha Big Israel or Terry Winfield. A lot of information. You can check out mine, Eric the Mad Scientist on YouTube. TikTok, Eric the Mad Scientist, Eric D.A. Mad Scientist, or Gabrielle Amalakia. And that's on Facebook. And I got 2 Facebook, Eric the Mad Scientist and Gabrielle Amalakia. But I teach people thought on my other stuff. I teach more of history, a little bit of science, this other stuff that I try to separate the two. So you can go on either one of them, whichever way you want to go. But if you want the Hebrew thought, you go on Yasha and you go on my Gabrielle Amalakia pages. And we got, all to get together, we probably got over 500 videos. You go on TikTok, we tell them like we got
Yo, we got
maybe
like we got close to like 600-700 videos together.
yeah,
I got damn near 600 by myself.
yeah, if you want to learn Hebrews words, if you want to know what this mean, what Satan mean, what devil mean, what Lucifer mean, what demons mean, if you want to know Asiatic, what we say Israelites are Asiatic. We got videos for all of that. And we got videos for what the spirit is, what the firmament is, anything you want to know is on these pages. So please subscribe, please like, and thank y'all for watching. So Gaza Doc again, I'm gonna get y'all to hit you up, man. And we'll set a date up. All right, peace.
Shalom wa ohid. Peace and love. Wa Layla Tov and good night.